Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Hellie and I'm currently a business analyst slash product owner in a tech company, and I make videos about tech and my role as a business analyst slash product owner. And I also do some other videos like live videos and traveling videos in between. So yeah, welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. Today's video is going to be about how I got into tech, and it will be split into 3 segments. So firstly, my entry into Big Four consulting, and then how I transitioned into becoming a business analyst. And then the last segment is just around how I actually got into tech and sort of what led up to it. So I'll put some timestamps in the description so you can skip through to the section that matters most to you, or you can watch the whole thing. And yeah, please enjoy the video and I'll catch you in the segments. Let's chat about how I got into tech and all the things that I did to get there. So the first thing is that it all sort of started when I was a uni student and I had to apply for internships. I was actually like the first in my family to go to uni, so I had no idea what one, the Big Four was, and then 2, that there were such things as internships. So I actually missed the initial boat to apply for internships, so I had to wait a year later to apply. Anyway, while I was studying for my business slash commerce degree, I don't know what it's called these days, I applied for a role at a Big Four consulting place, or at a few Big Four consulting places, and then after doing the interviews I got an internship at one of them, and it was in tech consulting. So I guess that was sort of my venture into tech. I specifically applied for tech consulting since I feel like it is at least at the time, it was an up and coming space. So I was an intern and then I got offered a role as a graduate. So then I began sort of my proper career in Big Four consulting. So I specialized in tech strategy work, and then after doing it for a little while, I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is for me. And being so early into my journey, I don't know if I can really advise that well on strategy, to be honest. So afterwards, I moved into business analysis. And how that happened was that actually my coach at the time referred me into a business analyst role. Now, I didn't have any experience whatsoever. All I had was the backing of like a Big Four consultancy background essentially. So I had to do my research. The place that was hiring for a business analyst were kind enough to give me an interview, but prior to that I had to do so much research on like what business analysts did. I was like, I had no idea. I didn't even know what user stories were. I didn't know what functional requirements were. So yeah, I was really starting off blank. I mean, I guess I had transferable skills, which were around communication skills, documentation, stakeholder management. So that sort of transferred across. But yeah, I had to do a lot of research on just how to break down requirements and sort of understand what the ask was. So I got given a case study and I did so much Googling. I didn't have ChatGPT or Gemini at the time, unlike the younger folks these days, but I did a lot of Googling to figure out what I needed to do. And so then I did the case study to the best of my abilities, and then I think they marked my answers, and based off that, they were willing to give me a chance. So I actually got offered a job as a business analyst. So that was sort of my venture into business analysis. So from Big Four consulting to business analysis, I got like a referral, did a lot of research and got in. And at that company, I really learnt the ropes of business analysis, how you should be documenting things, how it sort of works in software development, because I hadn't really worked in software development before, or sort of that software development life cycle. So learned as much as I could there, learnt the ropes, learnt the foundations, and then afterwards I moved to another company, another consulting place, to do software development as well, or work alongside tech teams to deliver products. And I had a lot of exposure to different types of projects and different clients as well. So I worked on greenfield projects where it was like literally the wild west, like anything went there. So you could say, oh well, let's change it to this text, or like let's go with this language to build on, and they would be like, yeah, sure, all good with us, which was really interesting. And I also worked in really complicated transformation projects, and there was like so much politics, a lot of red tape. Things were a bit slower as well, just because it was so complicated. So you really had to go through a lot of different levels of people to get things approved. And then I went to another place where, you know, the agile practices were properly agile. So turnaround time was much faster and there wasn't too much red tape, I would say. So I had a huge array of different projects and that sort of built up my repertoire over time. So I could handle a lot of different scenarios. So if it was like a completely new project, how would I set that up? If it was a very complicated transformation project, how do you set that up? Or like, how do you handle it or manage it? So I had a lot of experience at my previous consulting place. And then after some time, after learning as much as I could and being exposed to as many different clients as possible, I decided I didn't really want to stay in consulting anymore because I had already been in it for so long. So I wanted to actually move into a tech company so then I could work quite closely with product managers and be part of like a growth company, I guess, just see how it really rolls and not always be switching every couple of months. So how that happened was that because I've been working for some time, I have a lot of people that I know that are in different companies. And so I reached out to one of them and I was like, hey, I'm interested in this role. Do you mind referring me? So they gave me the referral. And I think over time you build up a reputation as well. So I got my foot in the door via the referral. So I could get a phone call from the recruiter, and then from there it was pretty much I was on my own. So I went through a case study and I had to sort of figure out how I would break down the requirements and what sort of questions I would ask, and then from there I had a values interview. And I think it's really important that you look at or practice behavioral questions. Like that's pretty standard when it comes to these sorts of interviews, but then also you need to really understand why you're applying for this company, or at least do your research on the place. Like for me, I did research on like what products they offer, what are the values of the company, and I feel like that was really helpful. But basically after all of those rounds, I was offered a role in tech, and that's how I essentially landed in tech as a business analyst. How cute is this plushie? It's an avocado and I got it while I was in Korea, I think 2 years back, and won it from a claw machine. So it's one of my favorites. It's so cute, sleeping. So that was it for the video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. And let me know if you're in tech, what do you do? Or if you transitioned into tech, how did that happen for you? Or did you just start from tech in the beginning? Let me know. Cool, I'll catch you in the next one.